You are going to get a hands-on walkthrough of the Bagsmart Blast carry-on backpack. Let's go. Here's a little 360 first impression of the bag. It is this green color, and it has this ripstop nylon type material. The zippers are pretty wide tooth, and they have a nice kind of opening to them. You have the big cup holder stashed away there, and then you have some front protective zipper pockets here. And then what's nice and what sets this bag apart is it has some of these clasps to really help you expand the bag. It is a 28 liter and it expands to a 38 liter, so you can get a lot out of it. And then when you're not using the bigger size and the expandability, you close it down. Also, a quick note, Bagsmart did send me this, but isn't paying for any of my thoughts and opinions. They're all my own. I also have been using Bagsmart since a long time ago. I first got into packing cubes when I traveled for a year in 2016. And Bagsmart was one of the packing cubes that I used. I don't remember if it was 2016 or if it was later, 2017, 2018, but I've been using Bagsmart products for a while. So I'm glad they sent me this bag to review and check out. In terms of size comparison, if you're curious on how this looks on a human person, this is how it looks. So I think it looks pretty nice. It looks like a more expensive bag that you might get, but Bagsmart's bag is at a pretty affordable price point. And for reference, I'm about 5'9", 5'8", depending on who you ask. And so that's how it looks on someone my height. This is a zipper to handle the expansion part of the bag. So it is 28 liters and it expands into 38 liters. So this extra material that you get once you expand the bag accounts for the additional 10 liters that you can get when you run this expansion all the way down through the end of the bag. So you unzip, and then you can see it has this flexible material set here, and then that allows you to get a little bit more depth out of the bag, which is good for piling stuff high, using packing cubes, or being able to fit generally more stuff in there. And what I mean by piling high is you can kind of get a sense of it here. So you can put things and kind of stack them in this main compartment. This is the main cavity, by the way, and I'll go into a little bit more details of this in a second. But for the sake of the expandability, you get this much more in terms of height when you run that expansion. So that 10 liters adds up all the way around with the 1.5 inches or so, 2 inches of extra height that you get out of the bag, so you can really pile things like packing cubes or anything loose to get that extra capacity out of the bag. The other thing is the bag itself is very light. It's 2 pounds. So unlike other bags in its class, you're not gonna have a lot of your weight be determined by the actual physical bag itself unpacked, which is nice because if you're carrying it around all day, the weight really adds up. 2 pounds, you'll notice. If a bag is 4 pounds, you'll notice that extra 2 pounds at the end of the day. There's lots of mesh, which I think kind of helps attribute to the lightweightness of the entire bag itself. This back compartment is pretty soft. Some of these ridges will help with airflow if you're walking around and it's very hot. So, keep that in mind. And plus the mesh itself has kind of like a double layer. So the actual first layer is a breathable mesh fabric, and then right behind is a cushion, also mesh fabric. So this will really help promote airflow if you are like me and when it's really hot, your back gets super sweaty when you wear bags. This should help a little bit. Before we go back inside the bag, let's take a look at all of the outside features to get a full look around. You do have this grab handle, which is nice. So if you're packing the bag, it's fairly heavy, you're putting this up on a train, and you need to quickly grab it off the side of a luggage rack. That's good, or generally if you're carrying it around, this is a good place to carry it. You do have this front pocket here. So that's really it. You can stash something lightweight in here. I wouldn't do anything super sharp because this is softer fabric, so you don't want to punch through. You do have the water bottle holder here. There is no way to adjust it as far as I can tell. So if you have a really tiny water bottle, it's in there. If you have a really big water bottle, this is stretchy, so you can accommodate that. So I wouldn't worry about overstuffing it. And then you do have some of these straps. They also have this kind of padded mesh material, so that'll help a little bit with the airflow. And then they are fairly cushioned, but not super thick. So that is a good benefit. You do have an access pocket here. This is good if you need to stash something away that's close to your back. It's a little bit of added security. You can put a phone, a passport, you can put headphones, you could really stash notebooks, anything somewhat small. It goes back fairly deep. So, you know, whatever you have an idea of something that might work for you to fit in there, that's an extra stash pocket. And then you do have some vent holes. This is a shoe compartment. We'll go over that in a minute. And then mentioned at the very beginning, you do have these straps to help you cinch everything down. And then this could be a luggage pass-through. If you put this bag on a rolling suitcase, this is your pass-through to keep everything all in one line there. And then you do have another zipper pocket here. This is much smaller, and it does have this nylon back behind it. This is not as deep. Oh, well, kind of is. It does go down pretty far. So you do have some extra storage capacity here. Again, same thing, phone, passport, wallet, headphones, snacks, whatever you want to fit in there. It is more on the exposed side, it's on the side, so if security is something that you're worried about, keep in mind that this is a fairly exposed pocket. So that's all of the outside. Now let's dig into some of the top pockets. I'll show you the shoe compartment and then the main cavity, and then some of the features there. Back into the main compartment, you do have these clips and these straps here. This is really good for packing everything down and compressing it a little bit farther. I've seen a lot of bags that have this, and whenever I'm packing something and I'm maybe overpacking a little bit, these are nice to sort of allow you to pack an extra t-shirt, 2 or 3, because what you can do is you can clip the buckle in. A little hard to do with one hand, but trust me. So you can clip the buckle in, and then you can tighten everything down, and it really compresses it down. So if you pair this with packing cubes, or if you're loose filling something like blankets, sheets, pillows, towels, whatever, you can really compress things farther because it uses these straps, which are secured to each corner of the bag, to really compress everything as much as you possibly can. And then this is the shoe compartment. You'll see the actual bag itself for the shoe compartment here. And then the shoe compartment access is on the bottom. So what you do, you unzip, you can put shoes in here. You can also use this for dirty laundry that I've done in the past. And you can also use this for really anything else. It doesn't necessarily have to be for shoes. Keep in mind that if you do use this for shoes and it does get dirty, it's, I don't know, forever unclean. Or if you want to clean it, be my guest. So you can do with that with what you will. And with shoe compartments, I'm kind of hit or miss. I think they're okay. I don't always travel with 2 pairs of shoes. There are certain situations where I'll bring a pair of running shoes or a pair of dress shoes in addition to what I'm currently wearing. And I think having a place to put them is okay. I kind of like using dedicated shoe packing cubes because then I could rearrange the bag in a way that makes the most sense. When you have a dedicated compartment for shoes like this, you're kind of limited to having the shoes here. And, you know, but with that said, this does make a good gym bag or weekend bag because you have a lot of variety and the ability to carry multiple types of things, which is nice. One other feature that I've not really seen on a lot of bags at all is this integrated clear pocket. And this is good for toiletries or anything wet because it's clear, but it also has this kind of like plasticky material. So if something really spills in here, it's not gonna leak out into other portions of your bag. The zipper is not watertight, so don't put like a bucket of water in here, but if something does spill, you'll be protected by at least this protective covering here. But if it's like a lot and you have your bag kind of moving around and going in all directions, this zipper is going to be your point of failure. And how can I forget? There is a whole other compartment in the back that you can use for laptops and additional storage too. You have the capacity for a fairly decent sized laptop here. You will not have any issues with 15-inch, 14-inch, 13-inch. If people have 17-inch laptops, maybe. So I would be questioning why you have such a big laptop, but standard laptops, no problem. You also have a secondary sleeve here for tablets. I have traveled with two laptops before, a 14-inch MacBook Pro and a 13-inch MacBook Air. And I believe that these will be more than enough to accommodate both of those. In addition to the laptop compartment, which does open like all the way back, you have some tech compartments here. There's no zipper. It's really for additional storage. And then you do have a little bit of extra storage if you need it for this. So if you're not really traveling with a laptop and you need to squeeze a couple more things in your bag for a specific reason, like books or a stack of papers, magazines, this will be your use case using this back pocket here. So this is what I mean. You do have a 13-inch MacBook Air in this tablet compartment. It isn't the deepest, but it doesn't really cause any issues. It will totally fit if you want to use this for that. And then you also have a 14-inch M1 MacBook Pro, so the newer style. And when you do have two computers, frankly, even one computer, it does make this back pocket a little bit heavier. So when you're opening it up, you know, make sure that it's not going to completely fall over, because that could be an issue. The front itself does have a little bit of padding because of the back here. But if you swing your back of your backpack with the laptop compartment open, watch out in case it hits the floor, anything like that. And lastly, you do have this additional storage on the top. This can be really for whatever. Again, headphones. You could put a water bottle here if you have something, or even drinks or snacks could be a good spot for this. If you're traveling with this bag and you're on an airplane, I have found that anytime you try to put snacks in an inconvenient spot, like even in the main compartment of a bag, if you're really cramped in your seat, sometimes having access out of the top of your bag so you can, you know, have it under the seat and then pull your bag up a little bit, unzip, and then get access to your things. Snacks, headphones, things that you want quick access to, this is a good position for that. And there is a good amount of depth that you have to stash things away in this compartment, so that's nice. And then you do have a zipper compartment in this top here. The zipper is probably the lowest quality of zippers, like on the whole bag, maybe. It does feel a little bit on the flimsier side, but you're really not putting anything heavy duty in here, so I wouldn't really worry too much about it. The quality of the zippers is nice. They're lightweight, so this is like a lightweight metal material, and the zipper with the wide tooth does feel really nice when it opens and closes. So, and then you do have these zipper pulls, which is really nice. You can also get the Blast backpack from Bagsmart with their packing cubes. So if you're looking to optimize your space, you have access to that. You can get them as a bundle, or you can get them on your own. I'll put them in the bag and let's see sort of how everything can compress and how everything looks once it's packed. I do have all these packing cubes somewhat packed. They're not overly stuffed, and I'm not using any type of compression within the packing cubes themselves. And this also isn't a packing cube review. Maybe leave a comment below if you want me to review these specifically. I will put them inside the bag and then give you a final comment about the compression straps, and then we'll zip it up. I'll give you a look of how it looks like when it's packed, and then we'll say our goodbyes. When you're using these narrow ones, you can also kind of put these off to the side. And, you know, when you're packing, you can kind of find a layout of various packing cubes, shoe cubes, tech cases to kind of work for you. So I was able to get everything in. I was demonstrating how the compression straps worked and then realized that there's a limit for how much you can actually compress. So this is the limit. So if you're really stuffing this bag a lot, you have something higher than this, the compression straps will really allow you to push things down. This is as tight as it goes. So you might not really use these compression straps very often unless you're completely overstuffing the bag. My feedback would be that you're able to really tighten this a lot more. But if you look at the way that the compression straps are constructed, there's no way to adjust this end clasp of the buckle. This is sewn on right here, so this is fixed. And then the way that it works is these straps to sort of help with the compression. These are also sewn on, and then your only real adjustment is this right here, which has a theoretical limit right there, which is what you saw. So the compression straps might really only be useful if you're piling something like extremely high. For normal packing, I think you probably won't use these. So you can keep them kind of like tucked away on the side, do whatever you want. I'm gonna zip this up. I'll show you how it looks fully packed and then we'll say goodbye. One thing that you can do if you are looking to save space, if you don't want to use the front integrated compression straps, is you can use the side compression straps to really tighten everything in from all sides. So you have one here, and then from the other side, you have one here, and then one here. Something else you could do is pack the bag with the integrated expansion open, and then when you have the bag packed, close it, and that can give you some extra compression. So if you're really looking to save space, if you have a tight limit for the physical size of the bag, or you don't like carrying something that's too bulky, this is actually fairly decent with the external compression capabilities. If you've stuck around this long, I really appreciate watching this full hands-on review. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer questions. If you want to see a follow-up review video of the packing cubes, let me know. I'll be more than happy to review that. And if you enjoy seeing these types of reviews, make sure to subscribe. I'm going to be posting a lot more in the future. You can also look at my past reviews. Thanks for watching.